Now this speaker has been masked up and it is ready for receiving a primer coat. Here before you is the speaker primed and painted. Whenever a speaker has been removed from off its baffle and out of its cabinet, store it inside a box or tin, just like I'm doing here, and place it somewhere safe. Speaker cones, especially when they have become old and brittle, usually tear easily. The speaker done and dusted and tucked away in a safe place. I certainly don't want it to get damaged. I now turn my attention onto the cabinet. I'm not bothered about the dirt and grime. That can easily be scrubbed off. It's all these nasty blemishes and scratches and little tucks that are in the surface. Oh dear. The side is no better. It was cut along here, and this part was severed from the gram section, which was beneath rather. Looking at the rear, I can't leave it like that. That flimsy strip of wood, the bolts which go through these holes just here, go through to hold in the chassis into this cabinet. Now that's going to have some attention. You know something? I feel a bit of carpentry and revarnishing coming on. I'll deal with the aluminium speaker grill later. Right, easy does it. Must be rather boring for you watching me doing this, but I just want to give you an idea as to what I went through, just to make sure that this stays on the top of the cabinet. Right, so that's the top complete. All that polyurethane varnish has been removed. Here is some of it. They must have put 4 or 5 coats on using a sweeping brush. As I have said, I often find cabinet restoration work tedious and boring. As viewers, I'm sure it must be the same also. One reason for my delay between the last video and this one was due to waiting for a plastic dial to come my way that requires attention. What I'm about to demonstrate does not always work, so I caution anyone contemplating having a go at straightening out a bent and twisted plastic radio dial to be exceptionally cautious. I've been doing that sort of work for well over 35 years, and I can still run into snags. This plastic dial was presented to me by a chap from Worksop over in Nottinghamshire, with hopes I can straighten it out for him. It is off one of the famous round echo radios. You will see just here AD65. I shall place this dial between this newspaper, somewhere close to the centre. It is the Sheffield Star. It doesn't have to be the Sheffield Star. Any newspaper will suffice. Now, iron the top of the newspaper. Not too much pressure, but you'll need some pressure, nonetheless. Repeat the ironing process a few times, but also keep taking a look at the dial. That bit is very important. As you can see, I am not in the habit of using a clothes iron. As I say, keep repeating the operation, and also keep checking the dial. Yes, it's coming on nicely. Turn it over, do the reverse a few times, like this. Now I'll check it, let's see how it's progressing. Oh yes, that's coming along quite nicely. The chap only wants it as a spare. He's bought himself a brand new one, reproduction. I shall be fitting that for him in about a fortnight's time. Yep, coming on nicely. This is as far as I'm prepared to go with this operation. Some types of plastic respond better than others. Remember that this dial is from the mid-1930s. I think it's 1934-35 to be exact. So long as the dial is constantly being checked and the surface you're ironing on is hard and flat, there is a better chance of success. I must stress at this point, do not expect to get the dial perfect. That is never going to happen. Be satisfied it is better than what it was. As is the case just here. I hope that you've all been inspired by what I have just done. What you have to do is take your time, keep checking what you're doing, and do things gradually. Now, I shall be continuing with the restoration work to the Regentone cabinet. I shall be doing a little bit of that in my next video. So, I'll say thank you for watching. Until next time, this is me, Phil, saying bye-bye.